Welcome to a very special video. Welcome to Expeditions, a MudRunner game. I got the chance to play the game. I played it for about 3 to 4 hours. The background gameplay is all B-roll, just so you guys are aware. Obviously, it's not the final game. Thanks to Focus for the invite. But this is the Don 71 with a new suspension kit on it, with a metal detector on the roof, being winched down a cliff. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So the metal detector is used to pick up signals. It will give you like a rough guidance of where objects you're looking for might be. So you see the colours are sort of pointing in different directions. By the way, the game looks so good. Oh, it looks gorgeous. SnowRunner's a pretty game, but I feel like this game maybe is taking it forward just a little bit, but you notice the improvements in graphics. So what is Expeditions? It's not a cargo game like SnowRunner. It's an expedition game. So you've been sent on little mini adventures. I got to check out the introduction world, which is called Little Colorado. So that's got 6 expeditions, and that is basically setting you up for the main game, really. And then there's 2 other territories, at least at launch, both with 41 expeditions. So that is, in total, what's that? 88 expeditions overall, which is a pretty decent amount. The maps are still humongous. So in these expeditions, you will be set up with a task. By the way, the Don 71 is the first scout vehicle you get in the game. And this is the 16 Action. So this is the vehicle you get, the first truck you get in the game. And it's a pretty versatile truck. It was added to SnowRunner in Search and Rescue, so it's a pretty newish truck to the SnowRunner franchise. Pretty capable. Lots of upgrades you can put on it as well. This is an example of using the anchors again. Personally, I did this expedition. I reversed. I was like, I can't do this. I completely forgot, of course, you got the anchors. The anchor will stay there. That's not a removable anchor. So that will stay there for the expedition, I believe. I've attached to it and just winch yourself across. Of course, you take damage, which can be a little bit annoying. One negative, by the way, is fuel is a massive aspect for me of doing these expeditions and getting them done. If you fail it, you got to start it all over again. So, yeah. The fuel was an issue, and for some reason the game, unless you press the LB button, will not tell you how much is left in the tank. So it's telling you how much you're using, but I want to see, without pressing the LB button, how much I actually have left. I don't know, I just wanted to see that number in front of me. So that's definitely a thing that annoyed me a little bit. Anyway, so the expedition. So you have a task. This might be to search an area. Use the metal detector, for example. These are very early. These are very early expeditions. So you get a prepayment, so you can buy some gear. So you may want to buy some anchors or a jack. Is it a jack screw? Is it jack screw? Yeah, jack screw. For example, these are devices they recommend for you to have. That are probably going to be required to complete the expedition. And then you select your vehicle, and the expedition starts. So you got to try and get from point A to B, maybe. Do a search of the area, find the object or collect the object and return it to base. That's, in premise, that's what I did. So I've only done the very early expeditions. I don't know how crazy the future ones get. I guess I'm going to get a lot more advanced with multiple vehicles. And so this is a very early expedition you're seeing in the background right now. You're doing a simple scan. You're seeing like lookout points, like the totems, using the binoculars to map out climbs, which are a new addition to the game. The climbs can be pretty advanced and quite crazy. Again, you're using those new devices, those anchors. You're using the fact you can now deflate your tires, which is brand new to the game. And it gives you that extra like grip on those rocks. But be warned, if you go too quick with deflated tires, they will take damage, and it happens quite quickly as well. So you get a little warning sign. You'll see it next to the tire inflation. It will warn you before it actually happens, but be careful with that. But yeah, tire deflation is very, very powerful and definitely helps. So can you imagine this Don 71 has never been so good. It's got the rock crawler kit suspension. It's got the lift suspension. It's got the brand new inflation tires. It's ready to go. It's got the anchors which you're seeing right now. This is the introduction clip. And it's so cool just doing this. And it's such a quick way to get around. You can still easily cause damage to your vehicle. I feel like damage in this game is probably easier to obtain. I think it's the right way to put it. Yeah, you can definitely take some damage, but there we go. So yeah, these earlier introduction expeditions are pretty simple. You're just going to now collect an equipment box. As you can see, there's the damage right on cue. So you can quickly pull it back to normal pressure, and you shouldn't take any more damage. You see the fuel on the rear bumper. There's a lot more spaces now on vehicles to put fuel and repair parts, which is pretty nice. So different ways to explore the map. There is a radar add-on now for trucks, which is a big radar module which uses 20 litres of fuel, which is kind of crazy. But it's like it opens the map quite. I would almost compare it to a watchtower. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. So this is again the prologue. This is the very first introduction expedition. So the territory I would compare to SnowRunner. So this is Carpathian. This has 41 expeditions on it. Again, we're using the drone here. We're trying to get from point A to B. And you can see a pretty crazy climb again. This is one of my favourite vehicles from SnowRunner. The car. I love this car so much. I use it so much in the game. I'm a massive SnowRunner guy. I am a little bit upset by the lack of cargo, but this is definitely a different approach to a SnowRunner game, or a MudRunner game, I guess I should say. We're going to use the Echo Sense in a second as well, so that detects the depths of the water. I wasn't sure if the Echo Sense, the Echo Sounder, sorry, whether that changes based on your setup of your vehicle. So if the snorkel's up higher, for example, or does it depend on the vehicle? Is it just, I don't quite know how that works yet. So I'll have to look into that. But it gives you a rough idea of how deep the water can go. Oh, hello. Oopsie. So we're going to use the jack screw for the first time. And yeah, you can save yourself. If you were stuck there, you would have to go back to base. I'll just get my mic. And restart the expedition, which is, yeah, kind of daunting still, I guess. But there's definitely more devices and more like backup scenarios that can really help you out. This game definitely feels more approachable than SnowRunner. SnowRunner did feel, particularly for myself when I started that game, quite daunting. Making these humongous deliveries, getting stuck in the mud, not knowing what to do. This game feels more approachable. The anchors are very useful. The jack screw, for example, very useful. I would say, at least early on, at least within this build, I found money to be pretty hard to come by. I had to buy a new truck for the vibration module. I needed that module for an expedition. Sorry. I need that module for an expedition, and I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't buy the truck. So I didn't know what to do, so I just moved on to the next expedition on the next territory in Arizona, for example. This is the climb. This is a pretty crazy climb for SnowRunner. You can see a pretty decent approach, but yeah, you want to lock the diff. You want to put it into low gear, all-wheel drive on, lower the pressures, and see what happens. One sec, is the four-wheel drive not on here? I don't think it is. Just showing how good lowering that tire pressure is. It's working though. It is working. Damn, the car is not messing about. So I counted about 20 vehicles in this build I played. Again, there may be more added. I don't know exactly if it's 20. I was just counting. I don't know. There may be more coming, but I counted about 20. So you got the binoculars, obviously the winch is back, the drone is new, the echo sensor, the metal detector, which I mentioned already. So yeah, for example, the Don 71, which I mentioned already, I looked at a quick comparison between the customization you can do. The main difference between that and SnowRunner was the suspension, the rock cooler kit, the lift suspension. That was the main additions. And it definitely had a big impact on how the vehicle handled for me. It felt a lot better in expeditions for sure. It felt like a more useful truck. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some more add-ons for sure. Definitely. So these are building modules. These are obviously new to the game. So to complete certain expeditions, you may want more fuel. If you run out of fuel, again, the expedition's done. So fuel is going to be essential, but 60,000 for that isn't cheap. Particularly when I played the intro part of the game. It's gonna take some saving. Essential storage, which again was added. I believe that's the module I unlocked at the beginning of the game. So that's got fuel, wheels, and repair parts. I mean, look at that view. This game always looks so pretty. There's the occasional text that didn't load in, but on the whole, considering this game isn't coming out until March, it looks good. I cannot wait for this game to come out. I know it's a different take. It's definitely a more approachable take to SnowRunner, but there's still challenges there. That there's going to be challenges still for those MudRunner experts, people like myself that put absolute hours into SnowRunner. You're still going to find aspects of this game that's still enjoyable. Yes, of course, I missed the cargo. Of course, I missed the scouting's still there, but it's not quite the same. I used to love going into like a brand new map in my favourite scout vehicle and exploring, and that's still going to be there. There's still stuff to find. There is still tasks as well, which I believe wasn't mentioned when the game got announced. So there's going to be tasks still. Definitely not as many as SnowRunner, but still. So again, the drone is definitely a more, I'd say, approach-friendly device that really does help you guide you in the right direction, which is always nice. Again, the game looks incredible. I'm intrigued to see how this game's going around on the Switch. It's coming out on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PS5 and PC. Switch? How? I don't know how that's going to happen, but we'll see. So this is an expedition. This is one I didn't actually get around to doing. I believe it might have been locked. But yeah, we're visiting Pacific areas. So get from point A to B. I believe we may need a bridge. So in SnowRunner, that would probably be, I don't know, like a cargo container. Apparently the bridge is on this vehicle. It's there ready to go. Or at least we should have the repair parts to build a bridge. Of course we don't. Oh, that mud. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. What was the thing I forgot? Put so many notes down. The jack screw, yeah, so you can flip the vehicle back over. Again, there's so many ways to approach this game now. There's definitely a lot of backup options, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, I've done a complete comparison between the Don 71 on SnowRunner and this game, and again, it was just a suspension that looks different to me, as far as I could tell. Tire inflation, of course, is going to be big. Fuel economy will have a factor as well. If you run with that low pressure, it will ruin your fuel. And of course, if you go too quick, it will damage the tires. So that's definitely an issue. You can also recruit help to expeditions. So, for example, Mike Nixon, who is a mechanic, can increase your disposable anchor supply by +3. So increase the limit by +3. Anchor setup radius has a +30% radius. And truck damage, except wheels, is -10%. So that will cost 600, which is pretty cool. So you've also got logistics. So your starting resources on outposts is a +100 repair and +50 fuel. Increase the partial scat radius of the binoculars by 100 meters. So there's a few options there. Operators, managers. So you can add these people to make your expeditions more effective, more efficient, earn more money. It depends on how you want to do it. There is multiple maps within those territories as well, so you got to try and obviously explore from point A to B. It could be quite an epic adventure. It does give you a rough guidance on how long it's going to take in terms of the distance you need to travel. So you can obviously maybe add like an extra fuel tank on, for example. Yeah, like where did that bridge come from? In SnowRunner, that would take multiple deliveries, but here it sort of just pops up, which again, I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit upset by the lack of cargo in this game, for sure. But it's a different take. It's not a SnowRunner game. That's why it says Expeditions, a MudRunner game. It's not SnowRunner. So again, very similar to SnowRunner. You've got multiple tires, multiple suspensions, winches. All looks pretty similar to me if you've played the SnowRunner. Obviously, the snorkels are back. High snorkels basically allow you to breathe underwater to a certain extent. Yeah. So this is an expedition I did, heavy shipping. It is basically save this vehicle. And this was tough, even with the tire inflation decreased, with the diff on. I was struggling to winch this vehicle to the destination. It was still a challenge for someone like me that's played SnowRunner a lot. The vehicle's getting stuck on rocks. I mean, that's the step. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a truck. A stuck truck. It took a fair amount of effort to really like push it through. It wasn't easy. The first time I did it, I ran out of fuel. I had no idea how much fuel I had left, and it just ran out. Yeah, bit embarrassing for someone that's SnowRunner as much as me, but there we go. Delivered! So there's the lowdown. Also, you got bonus objectives as well, so definitely worth checking those out for that extra money on the side. So this is what I couldn't afford for my expedition. I had to get the vibration module, and I couldn't afford it. God dang. Upsetting indeed. See, it starts with a simple objective, like, let's get out of the camp. Go to this destination. Explore this area with this device. So as long as you enter a new area, you basically uncloud the fog. That will keep going down, basically. Yeah, I'm still excited for this game. Again, there's aspects of the game I'm obviously going to miss from SnowRunner, but SnowRunner's still going to get updates, still going to get content, expansions, and I'm sure they're working on a new SnowRunner game as well. I'm sure, like the sequel to SnowRunner, because that game did so well. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but there was a new logo when the game starts called Focus Sim Series. So I've never seen that before. So obviously Focus has SnowRunner, MudRunner games do very well for them. They have a separate publisher, I guess, called Focus Sim Series, which is brand new. I think there's anything else I haven't mentioned. That's everything. Again, if you play SnowRunner, this all looks pretty familiar using the vibration module. We'll see the anchors being used again as well. There is removable anchors, but they're very expensive. I think they're maybe up to like 5,000. Ooh. I'm gonna try and get down there. That's a bit daunting. Yeah, if you were definitely a bit daunted by SnowRunner, I thought this game might be for you. It's definitely going to be more approachable, but I think the challenge is still going to be there for those SnowRunner experts. It's definitely a massive plus. Here's a look at one of the maps as well, very briefly. The beeping does get a little bit annoying. A new climb has been discovered. You get a ton of it. $100, whatever currency that is not. It's not much, I'm afraid. It doesn't go far in this game. I think money management might be more important in this game. I feel like the SnowRunner, I just had lots of cash. Maybe money management's going to be slightly tougher. Yeah, let me know in the comments. If you guys have any questions as well, let me know in the comments. I will try and answer them as quick as I can. You'll see there the anchor, there was green and red zones. So only certain areas you put the anchors actually in. So I guess maybe like soft ground, not rocks. And he's using it to winch himself up. This little rock bit here. How useful is that going to be? I sort of forgot I had them when I was playing, but they're going to be very useful to get to some of those unreachable destinations. It'll be interesting to see whether they use the anchors within the expedition. Do you actually have to use them? Because you just can't reach the destination without them. That'll be interesting. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the video. This is not a SnowRunner sequel, but still a MudRunner game, which I guess makes sense based on the title. Very excited to see where this game goes. If you guys got any questions, I'll try my best to answer those in the comments, or maybe do a separate video where your comment features in that video. Thank you guys for watching though. Again, thanks to Focus for the invite. Cannot wait until March. I'm definitely going to be playing this game on day one. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.